Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be diving down into the charts for XRP to see what's been going on most recently with the price action. Now as I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button, I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't done so yet, join us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Go ahead, check it out. Right, let's dive right down into XRP here. So we are paired up with the USDT. We are on the hourly chart to start with here, and Binance is our data source. Right, so I want to kind of just talk about a little bit of the structure of what's been going on. We've had a very choppy kind of play up here initially, kind of following the general market. Then we finally got an impulsive break to the upside with an ABC correction. Now, this is what I was talking about the other day. Essentially, what we've done here is we've pulled down with this ABC move, and we actually found good support right here on the 702. This is also an area that resonated high with the wave 1. Okay, and basically this was, I think, 81.68 cent. Okay, we actually found really good support. Actually, sorry, the wave 1 high was actually 81.9, and then we actually went down to the 786, which is 81.68. Now, that was the bounce point, so that's actually where our C wave ended, right there on the 786. We didn't have to go down to the 1-to-1 ratio. I did indicate this at the time that we were heavily oversold at that point, and we were likely to see reversal, which was fantastic to actually witness. Here, we then actually kind of see ourselves with some kind of corrective play. This actually is quite an interesting one, because I think what we've got going on here is potentially the start of another big move upwards, right? So we still haven't quite got to those targets. We've been talking about 90 cent, 93 cent, even potentially $1.04, right? So there's a lot of numbers up there, but we haven't really had the traction behind it. Now, we've actually had a lot of corrective play right here. Now, I'm not going to mark up all of the waves inside it. It will just be far too messy. However, one of the key things that we want to take away from all of this noisy moves is the fact that we've lowered that stochastic RSI right down to oversold, which essentially means that we're ready for another move up, okay, specifically on this hourly chart. The 4 hourly is also having good corrective play and looking to come down. There's a little bit more room potentially to kind of see in here for corrections, but essentially we've actually moved up quite nicely with a bit of a deep corrective move at the moment, and it could be that that's actually played out quite nicely there on the 4 hourly chart. Now, the 8 hour also heading down into the oversold area, so again, larger time frame looking good for a move, and the daily is of course still in the overbought area. Again, I've said this before, it's not overly too problematic that this is overbought on the daily, as long as the other kind of 8 hourly time frames, etc., are reasonable for us, but there will be some kind of corrective play that will come in. We've spoken about this quite a few times, and the weekly chart is also all the way up there, so there's going to be some kind of correction, and it's going to be pretty substantial, but you know, we aren't there just yet. There's more gains to be made before we see that corrective play, but it will be coming, so we just want to be mindful over that, as we potentially might be wanting to do some short-term trades. We want to be mindful of what the macro trend is telling us, and the macro trend is saying there is a correction coming, and we should be, you know, open to the idea of some better deals on XRP before we kind of go to the moon and all that kind of good stuff. So with all of this, we can obviously mark up a few things. So what we're going to do is, to start with, is we're going to delete this this fib off, because we don't need that one. What we're going to do is we want to measure this move, right? Because you can quite clearly see that we have this ABC kind of play here. There's lots of noise in the middle, but we want to make sure that, you know, we've actually not done anything crazy here, and it's just a standard kind of move. And here you can see we almost hit the 1-to-1 ratio, very, very close. So yeah, pretty much a standard kind of ABC move. Now we obviously are tracking this one, A, B, and C. Now we want to just check this corrective play as well, just to make sure that that's exactly what you would expect it to. We actually bounced from the 1.236 here, so overwicking the 1-to-1 ratio, but looking for reversal now. So that looks like it's going to be the bottom of this one, and then we potentially now start to think about moves up. Ultimately, there's a lot of overlap here. I cannot quite easily clearly see any kind of 5-wave move. I mean, at a push, you could argue that. I would have to check it though. We've got a low of 82.81, and we've got the high of 82.82. So there's overlap there. So that's not an impulsive move. It's definitely looking like some kind of corrective play there. with the overlap. So very, very close call, very, very close call. There's no other way I could probably count it. It looks like that would just be an ABC move, ABC down, so we are still tracking. So we haven't got the good structure here. I mean, it isn't really surprising for XRP considering everything that's going on with Ripple and the SEC. The structure is not as good as something like, Cardano or VeChain or Luna or some of these other altcoins, right? Because they have actually really good structure in terms of 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up. Even Bitcoin's got that structure to a point. But what you don't have that with XRP, and I think a lot of that just comes down to the manipulation, because essentially that is what SEC has kind of done to XRP price action, is it's been manipulated based on the fact that there's not that many exchanges in the US that list XRP and all of that kind of good stuff, right? So if we start thinking about why the market on XRP might not be as fluid for retail investors, from the US standpoint, and as a result of that, you don't have the same structure that you're seeing with others. And we've spoken about this before in terms of how XRP has not been performing in regards to the rest of the market, what the SEC effectively have done, and specifically even with the delay that's now being imposed, is basically harming any potential retail investor who is invested in XRP by the manipulation of the actual price action from the lawsuit perspective. They haven't directly done this, but it's a knock-on effects that they were aware of in terms of delisting XRP across exchanges and the damages done to millions upon millions of retail investors worldwide, and the billions of dollars worth of damage that the SEC have done as a result of the lawsuit, right? That's the level of manipulation I'm talking about. They did this knowing in advance as well of what was going to happen. This is all kind of public knowledge, and we all know this. So it's not price manipulation in the regards of what we would often talk about in terms of, market makers moving the price there, or whales doing something like that. This is basically a different level of manipulation, but it's quite clear to see from the data that XRP has been significantly hindered and damaged by the lawsuit of the SEC, right? So it's important that we understand that, and as a result of it, we don't have the same structure. We don't have that same, liquid. I don't want to use the word liquidity because there is liquidity there, but it's not to the same degree as maybe the others. And obviously, uncertainty around it obviously makes people want to avoid it as well. So ultimately, we haven't got the good structure, which is a shame. But nonetheless, we are going to probably be looking at some kind of correction up now. The key here will be moving past 84.6, and then of course, taking a look at the larger play. If we were to bring this up into our daily, we still have that 90-cent play right there, with a 1-to-1 ratio, and of course, moving up towards testing out that dollar level, right? And there's a few key areas here, and you've got to think about all these resistance points as well, of where we're going to find that resistance. $1 is a clear resistance blocker here for XRP, so do watch out for those kind of things. But essentially, yeah, we probably aren't going to get all the way to the dollar, I don't think, but I'd like to be wrong with that one. I think there's a lot of resistance right here around that 90-cent range, and I wouldn't be surprised if right there actually at 90.97 is the area that we actually get rejected from. I'll just mark it up there for the sake of that. So yeah, 90. Did I say 93? Did I actually put that a little bit lower? Yeah, I'm gonna put it a little bit higher. I'm gonna put it right about there. So 93.6. Okay, that would be the area that I think we're probably going to get rejected from, and then we'll probably start to see some kind of bigger correction at that point. Okay, so just keep that in mind on the macro trend, but for now, let's enjoy a little bit more of the upward swing before this market decides it wants to reverse, and hopefully it doesn't reverse, but we are mindful over all of those kind of things. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.